Today's video is going to mostly be more work with the order of operations, but you can see if you take a look at this pile of examples, there's a whole lot of letters, but a whole lot of use statements. Use statements are this worksheet's way of telling us, hey, wherever you see the letter X, replace it with this number. Wherever you see the letter Y, replace it with that number, and then just use your order of operations and go. It's called substitution, and I do expect to see the substitution and then your work through the order of operations. In number 37, we are to evaluate y plus x squared, but in place of x and y, we are supposed to use the number 4 for both. So sometimes multiple letters, but the same value. So y gets replaced with 4, x to the second power, x gets replaced with 4, keeps the second power. We're changing an algebraic expression into a numeric expression, one that we can work out. Order of operations says do the exponent first, so 4 to the second power is 4 times 4, which is 16, and 4 plus 16 is 20. In number 38, we have this 4, y is supposed to be 6, x is supposed to be 2. So I'm replacing the y with a 6, the x with a 2, and now looking at this and going, okay, order of operations, I know, do 6 minus 2 first, and then 4 times 4 is 16. Number 39 is showing us that letters can show up more than one time, no big deal. A gets replaced with 6, and every time we see B, we replace it with 5. Notice everything else is the same. I'm copying the parentheses, the plus sign, an exponent, just replacing letters with numbers, and then working out what we have. So 5 plus 5 is 10. It's in parentheses, so the order of operations mandates that we do that first. And then we just have the statement 6 times 10, that is 60. Y gets replaced with 3, x gets replaced with 6. And again, everything else copied exactly. Order of operations says do the subtraction inside the parentheses first, and 3 times 4 is 12. We can't have problems that involve 3 letters, no big deal. X, replace it with 3, minus z, replace it with 2, plus 6y, y is replaced with 2. But I'm going to put this 2, replacing y, in parentheses. Why am I doing that? In the original problem, it says 6y. There's no operation between the 6 and the y. And the only allowable, invisible operation between a number and a letter is multiplication. But now that I'm swapping that y out for a number, I need to make sure that I make certain I see it as multiplication now. There's nothing that can be invisible between two numbers. So I'm going to put that 2 in parentheses so I know it's multiplied. Order of operations says the multiplication is done first, and then we just add and subtract from left to right. So 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 plus 12 is a final value of 13. All right, let's see. J gets replaced with 2, and each H gets replaced with 2. Oops, which means that's not an H anymore. That is, in fact, now a 2. Order of operations, we have something inside parentheses. 2 minus 2 is 0. Then we have multiplication. 2 times 0 is 0. Addition gives me 0 plus 2 being equal to 2 for the final value. On 43, C gets replaced with 1. C gets replaced with 1. B gets replaced with 1. Very creative problem here. Addition first, then exponent, 2 to the second power, means I have 2 2's. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 plus 4 is 5. X is replaced with 6. X is replaced with 6. Y is replaced with 1. Double subtraction in this set of parentheses. If we were to write everything down, at this point, we would write a 3 minus 1. However, I think we can handle saying 6 minus 3 minus 1 is ultimately 2. 6 minus 3 is 3, and 3 minus the 1 gives me that 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Oh, look at all the parentheses in number 45. There are 3 parentheses after that y. All right, let's see if we can copy this right. Parenthesis, 5, close. Open, 5 minus open, 4 minus open, 5 minus y is 1, close, close, close. A lot of work here. Okay, this 5 minus 1 is first. It is the innermost set. So everything else is going to get copied exactly as it is. This 5 minus 1 is 4. Now we do this 4 minus 4. That's 0. Now we do the 5 minus 0. That's 5. And finally, 5 times 5 is 25. Probably the hardest problem in this entire batch. On 46, let's see, y is going to be 1 plus 3 times 2. If you're not sure about why I'm saying times 2, take the video back to me working through number 41. Minus, we open parenthesis, 4 minus x, but x is now 2. Okay, here's subtraction inside of parentheses, so it's first. Then we have multiplication that has to be done. And now we can work this left to right. 1 plus 6 is 7, and 7 minus 2 is 5. For 47, we have 5 to the second power minus, in parentheses, 3 minus 6 divided by 6. So we've got a couple things to do inside these parentheses. And you'll have to bear with me when we get to the end of a document for the notes. I have to work around this dock at the bottom that has my drawing tools. So I'm going to have to work off to the left and then on 48 off to the right. I will do my best to make this fit and not look too bad. So here's what I'm doing first. 6 divided by 6 is 1. Then I have to do the subtraction. Then the exponent. And finally, I can subtract 2 from 25 and have an answer of 23. In this last problem, I'm replacing both x and y wherever I have them with a 2. And again, notice here in the last part, we have xy. That means x times y. Again, multiplication can be invisible when there's a variable involved. So I'm simplifying this. We start with this multiplication. Now, let's be honest, we can handle adding this all up at once. 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. And 3 times 8 gives us a final answer for this problem of 24.